Hello everyone. Today's poem is 将赴吴兴登乐游原一绝 by 杜牧. Before I explore the poem, I would like to share my very recent experience, my side tour to Du Mu's tomb and his family's tombs at Shaolingyuan. Shaolingyuan is a high-rise plateau south to Chang'an city, roughly 10 kilometers south to Chang'an city, and roughly 10 kilometers south to Leyou Yuan as well, because Leyou Yuan is at the very southeast corner of Chang'an city. Du Mu's family belongs one of the two most prestigious family in Tang dynasty, and their family started at this site, Duqu, very near to their family's tomb, and roughly 10 kilometers south to Chang'an city. At this area, roughly for almost 1,000 years since the Han Dynasty. And of course, Du Mu's family also have a big house in the center of the Chang'an city. But this area, Duqu's area, is a very, very original residence place for this prestigious family, and is located between two high-rise plateaus in a very beautiful, very rich valley, and go to the east, climb up roughly 100 kilometers up, and then you will get to the Shaolingyuan, the Shaolin high-rise plateau, and then their family's plateau is there. And you can see in the video there's nothing today, but according to the history book, roughly 80 years ago, in 1960s, the tombs, several tombs is still there, including the tombs of Du Mu. And then everything has gone, and a pit left it in the very original place. Nobody knows what actually happened to Du Mu's tomb and his family's tomb. Anyhow, it's the Cultural Revolution in that time, in 1960s, and all the tradition should be destroyed according the spirits of the Cultural Revolution. Du Mu's tomb stayed there for almost 1,200 years, intact. And what I can say, it's a huge tragedy for today's people. Okay, let's get back to the poem. From the title, we know this poem was written in the year 850. 2 years later, Du Mu died at the residential place of Du family, very near to his tomb. At the age of 47, he requested the central government to send him to the southeast China, namely Wuxing, to be a local governor. And finally, the central government granted his request. So this poem was written at the time just before he started his journey to the southeast China, the place of Wuxing. He should be quite an aware of his physical status, which is so poor compared the similar age people. His hair got white in his 30s. His teeth got loose in his 40s. He might not came back to his hometown, to the Chang'an city again in his lifetime. He should be quite clear about this trip. So that's basically the background for this poem. And one more thing is the Leyou Plateau is at the southeast corner within the Chang'an city, and this is the place, a quite popular place for the Tang poets to climb up and look to the royal palace, look to the emperor's tombs, the Han emperor's tombs, which is so-called Wuxing, and also much more further to the north, the Tang emperor's tomb. So basically, it all resemble the regime, resemble the country, and resemble the fate of all the people and the emperor. Okay, let's look at this simple poem now. 将赴吴兴登乐游原一绝，杜牧。青史有味是无能，闲爱孤云敬爱僧。欲把一挥江海去，乐游原上望昭陵。The title 将赴吴兴登乐游原一绝，将赴 going to Wuxing, the place name in Jiangsu province today. Deng Leyou Yuan, climb up the plateau of Leyou. You could see so many poems, the Tang poems, about Deng Leyou Yuan, or titled Deng Leyou Yuan. You can also check one of them by Li Shangyin. I had one video on that. Deng Leyou Yuan. 一绝 绝 is 绝句 means the four sentence poems with 7 characters a sentence, or sometimes with 5 characters a sentence. So it could be also called 七绝 or 五绝。青史有味是无能。青史 青 is a word to describe the country, to describe the status of the country, the political status, which normally refers the political is so concrete, and it served the people quite well, and also people lead a peaceful and richful life. So 青史 means the country, the politics is in its best status. 有味 means that normally it's in today's language refers to the flavor of the food or a smell, but here it means 有味 means has the interest. So the first sentence means the people, the society, the politics is in its best status right now. The people lead a peaceful and rich life, and the politics is with integrity. But for myself, I had so many hobbies, I had so many interests in my personal life. This means I'm a useless guy. I'm a person of inability. 闲爱孤云敬爱僧. When I was free, I liked to watch the lonely clouds. When I was idle, when I was quiet, I liked to do the things a monk liked to do, which is meditation, reading the Buddhist classic books. The first two sentences actually is ironical, because everybody in that times know it's definitely is not a time of in its best status. Actually, it's in its worst status. The politics is so corrupted. The parties was in such a conflict. They combat with each other. Although the country was split in so many local regimes, even in the service, everybody still treat the emperor as the only at the highest authorities. So with this implication, all the things in the first two sentences could be ironical, which means he liked to watch the lonely clouds. In reality, he might not. He liked to practice the Buddhism. Maybe in reality, Du Mu didn't. And everybody know the most favorite things is wine and beauties for Du Mu. So the second sentence is definitely ironical. But anything is still reflects some of the things. He spent a lot of time for meditation or to find another destination or another pursuit for his life. He's in such a trouble or conflict because Du Mu was born with a great ambitions. He started the art of war so hard, and he writes so many articles on wars, how to fight victory in the wars. And yet, through his life, he has not a chance to use his talent to serve the country, to go to the battlefield. So it's very naturally, in his late years, Du Mu want to find some other goals or other pursuit for himself, or even personal goals, like to practice the Buddhism. And also he feel his lifetime is like the lonely clouds. It's not only loneliness, but it's just like the clouds blown by the wind. To the east, to the west, he has no control of his fate or what he can do. So in the first sentence, 轻时有味, I had a lot of hobbies and interests. So it's quite possibly ironical that in Du Mu's own mind, he thought he don't have so much interests or hobbies like others thought. The normal people, even today's people, take Du Mu as a person who like wines, who like beauties, and he don't do much of the real political things. And the last words, I'm a useless guy. I'm a person of inability. Of course, this is definitely ironical and self-mocking. 欲把一挥江海去. Jianghai, the Yangtze River, the sea, refers to the very place he was going to. Wuxing, the place of Wuxing, is along the Yangtze River and it's quite near to the sea in the Tang dynasty. And also, Jianghai, the river and the sea, has a very, very strong implication to referring to the world away from the capital city. So in that time, that's the place in a chaos. That's the place not under the control of the central government. So these sentences actually express the real pursuit or his own wishes. He would take a battle flag, go to the places far away and take those places back again under the control of the central government. 议徽 hui is battle flag. So in a lot of places, this battle flag was explained as the flag of a local governor. So it's not correct. So with all the background and the previous two sentences, we know Du Mu still has a very, very strong will to contribute to the country, to win the victory of the wars, to restore the power of the central government. So here he used the very original meaning of this character. Hui. Hui means the battle flag, always. So he wants to take a battle flag, lead a troop, and go to the far places, to go to the frontier areas, and take all those land that lost it to the central government back with victory. And from the very last sentence, it also conveys my explanation. 乐游原上望昭陵. So from the title, we know Du Mu climbed up the plateau, the high-rise plateau, 乐游原, and he mentioned nothing in the previous sentences, but the focal point of this poem is the last sentence, 乐游原上望昭陵. So this place is almost a default place for the Tang poets to express his own wishes, his own pursuit. Normally, 99% associated with the country, with the emperors. And at the very last sentence, Du Mu is the same. He points out very clearly, I'm on this high-rise plateau. I'm looking to the tomb of Zhaoling, which is Tang Taizong's tomb, roughly 50-60 kilometers north. So the Zhaoling has its own significance to the Tang people because this tomb buried the emperor Tang Taizong. He's the second emperor of the Tang dynasty. Anyhow, he was treated as the person who founded the Tang Empire, and also he was most famous of his talent on wars and generals. He was the key person tried to conquer all the lost lands of the last dynasty, which is Sui dynasty, and he take back all the lands and make a huge, vast Tang Empire. And also he built all the rules and regulations for the Tang Empire. So, and also if you have been to Chang'an city or Xi'an city today, you would know this tomb is on a mountain, and this mountain is the highest mountain among those mountains from across the northbound of Chang'an city from east to west. So it's roughly one or 200 kilometers from east to west, and this mountain is the highest, and in fact he is the highest, the most regarded emperor in the Tang dynasty. So here it has two implications by Du Mu. One, he recalled the most glorious time of the Tang dynasty. The army is invincible. The politics is wise with integrity. The second implication is Du Mu was expecting a wise and smart emperor to show up in the future sometime. So with this smart and wise emperor like Tang Taizong, together with Du Mu's own talent, they can work together to restore the country again, like Tang Taizong, like the Tang Taizong did hundreds years ago before him. If it was so hard to tell what Du Mu was really thinking about from the previous three sentences in this poem, from the last sentence is so clearly that it's just like an oath of Du Mu. I would dedicate my life to this country, to the Tang Empire. I want to restore the Tang Empire to its past glorious time. And just have a second thought. At this time, I do believe Du Mu knows very well this is the last few years of his lifetime, and he's still with such a solid and ambitious heart within. That's the Tang people. Okay, that's for today, and I wish you enjoy. Bye bye.